This is a continuation of our topic in Docker and Tomcat. So we have now our container running, and in fact, we can access the Tomcat through the browser. To report 8080. So it's really very simple to deploy an app here. So right now, there are no apps running in Tomcat. And the way to tell that is we have to get into inside a container. There, and we just do an ls of the web apps folder, and you can see there are no apps. These root docs examples, host manager and manager, are the default contents there. So I can say that there are no apps running yet except for the Tomcat apps, which are hosted by these folders. So the reason I'm showing you the content of the web apps folder is because when we deploy an app in Tomcat, we just copy a WAR file into this location here. So we just do a copy of the WAR file there, and the app is deployed. It's very simple. So, okay, let us do that. So now, in my home folder, I have a test tmp.war, and I am going to copy the WAR file into the location. Okay, enter there, and the app is deployed. So the name of the app is the name of the WAR file. So since the name of the WAR file is TEMP, therefore we can just put here TEMP, enter, and we have an app now. This is our app, and it's actually converting Fahrenheit to centigrade. And if we do again an ls to the web apps folder, we can see that the temp war file has been unzipped into its own folder of the same name. Okay, and that is now hosting the app there. In fact, we can copy the TMP WAR file into a separate directory in TMP, and here is our TMP WAR file. We can unzip this, and we would have the same structure. All right, so we can examine the input XML, and we can see that it has a form hosting this page here. The main page here, and this button convert to centigrade is this one. It is an input type, and the action here in the form is convert that JSP, which is also here as part of the unzip, and this is the content. So a JSP file is just an HTML with mixed Java programming inside. And for example, these are standard Java variable declarations. And to make a long story short, this templating in the JSP file is converted into a bytecode, which is what we call as a servlets. And since it becomes a bytecode, then the Java runtime can execute it, and whatever is the output of the execution of these servlets will get replaced into the corresponding places here in the template. For example, here This templating syntax, and the inner of this portion is becomes a bytecode, and the output of this appears into the h4 tag, and that is now what is substituted into the HTML and sent back to the browser. Um, Another thing to note here is that the user local Tomcat web apps uh, is constantly monitored for new files, so that if a new file arrives there, and it's automatically unzipped. Um, of course, otherwise, who did the unzip, right? So when a file arrives there, then a program that constantly watches for new contents in that file is the one doing the unzip of the WAR file. In fact, the way to uninstall our app is just to remove the WAR file. So I will do that now. It's important that the WAR file stays there, because if the WAR file is removed, since this folder is constantly being monitored, the monitoring script also removes the TAMP folder because its corresponding WAR file is now removed. As you can see there, the temp is also gone. By just removing the WAR file, the temp is also removed, and therefore if we refresh this page, we no longer have the app there. And just go back to the main console of Tomcat. So that is all, guys. Through the help of Docker, you can easily learn how to deploy a Tomcat application and do quickly web programming using Java. Thank you.